Yo, how's it going guys? JT here. I'm going to be bringing you the update video for 0.10 today. 0.10 is very much a continuation of where we left off with 0.9. We've been focusing on balance and overall gameplay loop for the upcoming early access on Steam. Enjoy the video guys. We've always been very focused on keeping the UI as minimalistic as possible, and we did feel it was time that we start delivering some information to the player about how their stats are being affected and what is affecting them. What we've come up with here is a system which only displays the stats that are currently relevant to the player. So if you take damage, you're going to get the damage pop up and you're going to be able to see how your stats are being affected. Alternatively, you can pull all of these stats up all at once by inspecting with F, and from there you can see all the information that you're going to need to get. But really this was all about transferring that information of how the stats are being affected without the need for opening your inventory. This should help scenarios where you go into a battle with zombies without realizing that you're low on health, or maybe that you need to drink some water. This just prompts the player and makes things a little bit easier. Something that we wanted to do with 0.10 is bridge the gap between new players and players that have been in the game for a little bit longer and have been able to find melee weapons or maybe guns. What we've implemented here is a new bat, and this is something that can be crafted very simply from firewood or from timbers that you can find around the world in very early gameplay scenarios. With that, what we wanted to implement was melee breaking, and the idea of this is that it will create a bit of a loop to melee and the requirement of maintenance and further crafting, so that it creates more of an in-depth experience with melee weapons. This will allow the player to quickly craft a bat. They will be able to kill 1 or 2 zombies, and then they'll need to be thinking about getting a nicer melee weapon. Hotkeys have also been completely overhauled. They no longer function in an order-based system where 1 through 9 acts on where they are in your inventory. We've now assigned keys to different categories and types. All melee weapons are currently on the button 1. If you continue to press 1, it will cycle through all your melee weapons. Pistols on 2, rifles on 3, etc. This allows the player to just really quickly grab the last pistol they had, or quickly switch over to the flashlight, or say an axe if they're cutting down trees but need to quickly switch back to a weapon to kill some zombies or whatever might be going on. 0.9 saw the first introduction of the campsite or guide area. We've started to roll them out in 0.10. They're not all over the world yet, so new players may still get a spawn point that doesn't have campsites. If you do get into the game and there are, then you can go up to these locations. You can find them via camp trails which guide you up to them, or by looking for distant smoke and following that, and that's meant to resemble smouldering fire. So once you get up to these locations, really we designed these to just make it a little bit simpler for new players to understand how to get into the game, what they can do, and just take them through what they need to know in order to continue to survive and have fun with the game. As we all know, when you jump into a new game, it can be a little bit daunting, and the idea of these is just to make it a little bit more easy to understand. Windows have had some much needed love as well. This has been something that we've really wanted to do for a very long time. It was always a bit strange that there was no glass in Windows. We decided to do it now because we noticed that players were using Windows instead of using doors. It made looting very easy. You could jump into a window during the day, loot quickly, and jump out of another window before the zombies ever really became a threat. The idea of these is that it slows down the zombies and it also slows down the player. And let's face it, when isn't smashing windows fun really? So overall, this is a really neat little feature to the game, which just really helps the dynamic and gameplay overall. For the first time, really, we sat down as a team and talked about what we wanted to have as a general loot spread across the world. This is something that we've never really done before, and previously, obviously, if you've played the game, you'll have seen there was probably twice as many guns as there was ammo, which really causes a breakdown in how the game should play out. So we've sat down and we've decided what we feel like the spread should be. We've done that spread, and it'll be rolled out in 0.10. We'll need your feedback. Tell us what there is enough of. Tell us what there's not enough of. And from this base, we should be able to really balance the gameplay and give a nice spread of items, which will help the game overall. Zombies have also had a lot of attention. Obviously, it's a massive part of the game, and a lot of these little changes aren't going to be immediately noticeable, but overall they're going to really improve the gameplay experience. One of the biggest things that's changed is the zombie resistance. This is something that was requested like crazy by the community. They used to just provide resistance to the player, but you could push through them. We've scrapped that altogether. We've made an entirely new system, and that is no longer possible. Zombie spread over the world has also been tweaked and changed. There's going to be more day zombies now, and they're going to be more spread over the world evenly. I'm not going to go through detail with all the small zombie changes, but check out the changelog. There's also going to be a load more changes to the zombies in the next update as well, which we'll go over at that point. Steam achievements have also been implemented in this update. We've added a base set for things like Night Survived and Zombies Killed, and also the overall set for the guide and tutorial area. You're going to see loads more of these rolled out in the next 2 or 3 updates. If you've got any ideas for Steam achievements, hit us up on the forums and the Discord, guys. We'd love to hear them, and we want to get those ideas in. This really just bridges that gap between Steam and the game, and just integrates things that little bit more, which is always nice. 0.10 is very much a continuation of 0.9. We've been working on a bunch of really cool features that haven't made the cut for 0.10. You should also head on over to the changelog to see all the things that we've implemented in 0.10 that just didn't make the cut for the video. We'd love to hear your feedback on the build. For the very first time, when this video goes live is when we'll set 0.10 live on the master branch on Steam, so you'll be able to play it straight away. It has been on the experimental branch for the last week or so, so if you've been testing that and giving us feedback, we really appreciate it. I'll catch you in the next video, guys. Cheers.